Imagine being at the peak of your athletic performance. Just like that, it's gone due to a knee injury. Hello, I'm Christopher Noble, and today I'm going to talk about knee injuries in service members and athletes. So, to start off, I think I owe it to y'all to really just tell you what you can tear and a little bit vague on the recovery because that also depends on like how bad it is, where it's at. So I'm gonna keep it very vague, but I'm gonna give you like a foot in the door to all this knowledge. So to start off, you have four ligaments in the knee. You got MCL, LCL, PCL, ACL. Now the ACL and the PCL are kind of like a little rope intertwined in your knee. The MCL is on the inside of your knee running down, LCL is on the other side running down. And basically those four ligaments are what stabilizes your knee. Now, next I'm going to talk about the meniscus, which is not a ligament, it's a piece of cartilage, but it's just as important as the other ones. So the meniscus is a shock absorber. So while the other ones are stabilizing your knee, the meniscus is just taking the blow so it's not bone on bone. So, and for me, I've had two meniscus surgeries and currently about to go on my third. So I think that I have a little bit of, experience to talk about knee injuries. So first, the top three knee injuries that service members and athletes get are, number one, according to the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, is ACL. And that's due to a multitude of reasons, mostly just the twisting, the pivoting, and just the heavy strain that being an athlete or a service member puts on your knee. And that kind of goes into the next, which is a meniscus. The meniscuses are more like a pivoting, like sharp turning motion when you could rip your meniscus. And that's what happened to me personally. And then the next one is going to be an MCL. And that's the one that's on the interior of your knee. And again, same thing with ACL, just and the meniscus, just it can be torn in a multitude of ways, but it has to be torn in a certain direction, like a certain way you twist and a certain way you pivot. That's how you tear the MCL instead of the PCL. So the reason why athletes and service members are more prone to knee injuries such as those are just the day-to-day, like constant just beating on these ligaments. Now it's kind of like the AC. You don't notice it until it's broken. But when it is broken, you sure feel it. So, yeah, next that I'm going to be moving on to is recovery. Now, for each of those, it kind of just like spirals down into like how bad your tear is for the recovery process, what type of tear is it. So I'm going to be very vague. So for an ACL, the most common knee injury, it is a long, grueling recovery. According to the Mayo Clinic, recovery from ACL tears can take several months and up to even a year just to get back to feeling somewhat of what you were before you got that injury. And for meniscuses and MCLs, it's a little bit shorter, but that also depends on the complexity of the tears. So for me, I've had two scopes of my meniscus, which is just, it was too bad to recover, so they just cut it out. And that's a shorter recovery time, but long term, it is not ideal for recovery. So if you take anything from what I'm saying today about knee injuries, it's recovery is the most important step of the knee injury. Me, I'm struggling with the recovery process because I didn't take it serious. And I didn't research enough to know that improper recovery techniques would not affect me in the moment, more so, but long term. So my decisions from 2-3 years ago are affecting me day to day today. So, from my experience, recovery is just, it's not also physical, it's mental. It's just a heavy mental climb. And I'm still going through it, but with experience comes wisdom, and I'm getting there. So, yeah, there's that. In conclusion, knee injuries are common. Like, just because you have it doesn't mean like your body's weak, this, and that. It's common. Now, what's not common is knowledge. Research. I'm putting your foot in the door, open it up, go in, and just see what you could do personally to maximize your recovery if you ever had a knee injury. And in conclusion, just to finish it, knee injuries can happen to anybody. Shoot, they can even happen to you watching this video right now. So learn from my experience, because how you handle recovery is what determines what gets you back to normal or to somewhat normal. And if you don't know what I mean by that, hopefully you never do. Thank you for your time.